10-foot sighting pointing to the creature's towering size and broad, bulky frame. A few have even floated the idea that this could be some kind of unknown forest entity, especially since the hair color and behavior don't match common wildlife. So what are we really looking at here? Someone recently shared a creepy piece of home security footage on Reddit, and it's been stirring up all kinds of conversation. Their motion alarm went off in the middle of the night, but when they checked around the house, no one was there. Curious and a little freaked out, they decided to check the footage, and what they saw was pretty strange. The camera was mounted at the corner of the front porch, giving a clear view of the walkway. At first, everything looked normal. Then out of nowhere, this weird glowing object moved across the screen. Just seconds later, the alarm goes off, and right after that, a dark, shadowy figure slowly walks by the edge of the frame. The homeowners were completely baffled. They posted it online, hoping someone could explain it. But people are still debating. A few people think it could have been a ghost or some kind of shadow entity, especially since the alarm was triggered without any signs of a break-in. Others think it might have been a trespasser checking out the house. Some say the glowing thing might have been a bug crawling across the lens, and that can sometimes cause a distorted, out-of-focus look. But that doesn't explain the dark figure that came right after. Also, if it was just a bug, why did the alarm go off? It's just been questions, 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 with no definitive answer. Anyway, what do you think? This one's really special. It's not creepy or scary, just strangely beautiful. A woman named Teresa Bergen was heading home one day when she decided to snap a quick photograph of the sky. She'd just gotten off work and was driving back when her daughter called to warn her about an incoming storm. Wanting to reassure her daughter, Teresa quickly pulled out her iPhone 8 and took a picture of the sky just to let her know she was safe. She didn't think much about it at the time, just a simple picture on the road. But when she finally got home and showed it to her daughter, they both paused because the photo looked unreal. The sky in the image was layered and textured in a way that made it look like the surface of the ocean was rippling waves. It was eerie and calming at the same time, like a slice of another world captured on a regular evening. Teresa thought it was so unusual that she posted it online, and the internet exploded. People were mesmerized. Some couldn't believe it was real, while others just marveled at how nature could create such a surreal ocean-like sky. There was even debates, with some claiming it had to be AI-generated or heavily edited, but Teresa swears it was just a lucky moment captured by a phone camera. You've seen it, so what do you think?
Hello?
A cave explorer recently shared footage from a chilling encounter deep inside an unexplored cave system, and what happened has left viewers seriously unsettled. While making their way through the tight, winding tunnels, everything seemed normal at first. Then out of nowhere, a strange sound echoed from deeper within the cave. It wasn't an animal, and it wasn't the usual creaks or drips you'd expect underground. It sounded like someone wheezing, screeching, gasping like something in pain. The explorer never caught anything on camera, but in their own words, it wasn't just a lost animal or some weird echo. They described it as humanoid, but definitely not human. Something about the voice, the pitch of the screech, the rhythm of the breathing, it did not sound natural. Right before the footage cuts to black, the sound gets louder and more frantic, like whatever was down there was getting closer. Skeptics say it's fake, but others believe it might have been something far more sinister, maybe a cryptid or even an underground entity most people had never seen. If that's the case, however, why would it scare him and not show itself? Cowardice or self-preservation? Well, it's actually hard to say, but what would you have done? Would you have kept walking toward the sound to solve the mystery, or would you have just got out before it found you?
Hello?
So the clip playing on your screen right now is roughly years old. From 2012 to now is 13, right? So, yeah, 13, and is probably one of the most controversial clips or documentaries ever shown on Animal Planet. It's called Mermaids, the Body Found. And if you watch it back then or even now without knowing better, you'd swear it was real. It looks and sounds like a legit science doc, serious interviews, CGI that feels just plausible enough, sonar blips and government memos all cut together like something being leaked to the public. But here's the twist officially. It's a fake. The scientists are actors, the footage is staged, the evidence fabricated. It's a mockumentary, not a documentary. But here's the thing. Nobody really said that up front. When it first aired, there was no flashing disclaimers or obvious signs telling you this was fiction. And that's what made it hit so hard. People were convinced, not just kids or conspiracy types either. Grown adults, curious minds, and even a few journalists fell down that rabbit hole. And when the bars got loud enough, NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, had to step in and literally issue a statement saying, no, mermaids aren't real. So here's where it gets murky. If it was all fake, why did it feel so carefully built? Why lean so hard into real marine science and a real fringe theory like the aquatic ape hypothesis? Why craft a narrative that mirrors whistleblower leaks and cover-up tactics almost beat for beat? And why did Animal Planet wait until after the backlash to clarify that it was fiction? Maybe it was just entertainment, maybe it was a test in media literacy, or maybe, just maybe, someone wanted the truth out there in a way that could still be denied. Is it fake? Sure, probably, but ask yourself, if it weren't, how would you expect the government to handle it? This particular footage was allegedly captured by fishermen, and it kinda looks legit.
But don't take my word for it. What's your gut telling you?
Speaking of crazy, take a look at this clip. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary clip, right? Well, look again. Once the woman opens the door, you can see a human head move behind the obstacles in front of her. The funny thing is, she sees this too, and I'm shocked. She moves to take a good look, and all of a sudden, there's no one there. She's supposed to be there alone with a real estate agent who was showing her the property. In fact, she was the one recording because her husband couldn't attend the viewing and she wanted him to see the property as well. She reviewed the clip, and surely enough, the person or whatever it was in the clip. In real life, however, she didn't see anyone. She uploaded the clip online, sharing her spooky experience, and many told her she'd actually encountered a ghost. At first, it sounded funny, but the more she thought about it, the more she realized that a ghost was the only logical explanation. Well, you've seen the clip, so what do you think?
To that bathroom.
Yeah.
And that goes.
There's water. Yeah.
Every day it seems like something new pops up that makes us question reality itself, and this video is no different. It starts with a girl out on a track just practicing her run, but then something really strange happens. Pay close attention to the background,
About you, and it's
especially
no
the
one
boy in the
else
red
like
jacket.
you is what they're
As she
getting.
continues her
Positive vibes
sprint,
only.
he suddenly appears,
Shout out to
just
King Saul's boss
materializes
in the
on the
building.
sideline out of nowhere. There's no visible lead up, no one walking into the frame, no shadows or movement to suggest he was approaching. 1 second he's not there, and the next he is. Now, skeptics might say this could be a fault in the video, like maybe it was paused or edited, but everyone else in the shot continues moving smoothly, completely unaffected. If the footage had been spliced or paused, we'd expect some visible jump or inconsistency, but there is none. So that leaves us with the strange question: did this boy glitch into reality? Some are saying it's a simple video bug, others claim it's yet another sign that we're living in a simulation. If reality is a program, then this might have just been a brief glitch in the code, but it could just be me being biased. What do you guys think? Still on strange captures, let's take a good look at this one too. This one appears to have been captured by the security system in an auditorium. The lady in the clip is Anna, and it's stated that she was investigating an old building with some friends. She particularly was in the auditorium while the rest of her gang checked the other rooms. It was all chill and quiet, but then she heard some footsteps. Thinking it was one of her colleagues, she turned around to see no one, but still felt a presence. This made her run out of the place, panicking. They later checked the cams and realized that there was something invisible, or rather small and barely visible, moving in the room with her. Not sure if you guys can see, but some believe this is a spiritual entity, while others think the whole thing is a hoax. You've seen the clip with your own eyes, so what say you?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
These days, a lot of people are starting to believe we might not be alone on this planet. And no, not just aliens from space. We're talking about reptilians, demons, and even beings from other dimensions, creatures that could be living amongst us, hiding in plain sight. Sounds crazy, right? But then stories like this one show up. It starts off normal. A man wakes up, goes about his morning, and casually looks out of the window. Just one of those mindless glances you take while sipping coffee or checking the weather. But what he sees, that changes everything. Something is walking down the sidewalk. At first, he thinks it's just a mist, maybe morning fog. But then he realizes there's a shape, a figure. It's see-through, almost like smoke, but it moves with purpose. It's coming from a neighbor's house, heading right towards his. Here's where it gets really strange. The thing has a body and a clear outline, but the legs, well, they don't look human at all. They're bent in weird ways, almost like a lizard walking upright, and as it moves, it leaves behind this faint glowing trail like it's shedding light or energy with every step. Naturally, the clip ends up online and people are divided. Some say it's a demon. The glow, the shape, the way it moves, they swear it gives off something dark. Others are convinced it's one of the reptilians. You know, those shape-shifting beings people claim they've been here for ages, blending with us. But no one really knows what it was. What everyone does agree on is this: it wasn't normal, it wasn't a regular person, and it sure didn't look like a ghost either. So what do you think it was? Demon? Reptilian? Or maybe something we don't even have a name for yet? Because it's stuff like this that's being caught on camera. Well, that makes you wonder what else is out there. Now, here's a strange one. This image was shared by someone who was just chilling by a riverside when they spotted something crawl out of the water. The creature doesn't look aggressive, but what really stood out was its golden-colored fur that shimmered across its back. The creature was turned away from the camera, so we never get a clear view of its face, which makes this even more mysterious. Some folks online were quick to say it looked like a sloth, and honestly, I can see it. Sloths may be slow on land, but surprisingly, they're actually great swimmers. But others weren't so sure. There were a few people who believed this could be some kind of cryptid, a rarely seen creature that lives in the water or along riversides, maybe something we haven't fully discovered or documented yet. The golden fur, the eerie stillness, and the fact that it just silently slipped out of the water. Well, what do you think it is? Next, we got what people are calling a real-life Godzilla, but this time it's not some sea monster, it's a horse. A massive, majestic, almost mythical-looking creature that's got the internet talking. Behold, the Godzilla of horses. Or as some folks online have nicknamed it, the Hoofed Hulk, White Thunder, and my personal favorite, the Equine Titan. This isn't just any horse, it's a towering snow-white beast with a build that looks like it was sculpted from stone. Its muscles are unreal, its presence absolutely commanding, and those hooves, they look like they could crack pavement. Not to mention it stands way taller than the average horse, almost like it's part horse, part ancient war god. The clip shows it calmly trotting through a field, but there's something about the way it moves, slow, powerful, like it knows exactly how legendary it looks. No panic, no rush, just raw strength in motion. People are wondering what kind of breed it is. Some say it might be a special type of draft horse or even a genetically rare outlier, but honestly, it almost feels like this creature walked straight out of a fantasy novel. Whatever it is, it's not your everyday horse. So the real question is, would you ride into battle or run the other way? Because one thing's for sure, this isn't just a horse. This is a force of nature. All over the world, people have different beliefs and depictions of the strange and the supernatural, but sometimes a single piece of footage can stir up debate everywhere, and that's exactly what happened here. The footage comes from a security camera set up in a quiet town. What it captured is nothing short of chilling. Floating in the distance is a dark, shadowy mass, drifting eerily through the air. It doesn't have a defined shape, it's not smoke, it's not fog. It moves slowly and deliberately, and it looks disturbingly real. Nothing like the low-effort fakes you often see online. Now, the internet is doing what it always does, trying to figure it out. Some believe this is a sprite, perhaps wandering through the town for a reason no one understands, but others are offering a different explanation. They claim this could be a witch in a spirit form, said to be able to leave the body and travel as a dark mass, especially during certain hours of the night. Looking at it again, I can understand why they think that, but let's hear your thoughts on this one too. Imagine going down your favorite alley and running into this. What would you do? Looking at the footage, it's hard to say what kind of cryptid that could be, but according to the one who filmed and reported it, it's a giant cat. Yeah, a giant cat. Take a good second look. Seen it now? Not sure if it's just an obese cat or one that's cryptid status. Some of the community already have theories of what kind of cryptid it is, whereas others feel it's just an ordinary cat. Can any of the cat enthusiasts help us out on this one? Next, we got another cam footage, and this time it's an alien that appears to have been captured. Looking at the info available on the video metadata, this was allegedly captured on the 29th of April 2022, so basically 3 years ago. The quality of the video is poor and it's also very short. While some are convinced this is the real deal with a grey alien, others find it laughable and state it's a poorly edited video.
Oh man, we're back once again. You know, it's a beautiful day. If you feeling down, just get you a bag of that. We just light up. Can't fire Mr. Hero. Can't greet him with two, only the third eye. Killer vision, PSER in hospitals. Let me on this track. Accidents and opera O's. Conscience, unconscious. Flow riding on my train. Denzel, Chris.
This one. Next, we got another cam footage. This time, it's an alien that appears to have been captured. Looking at the info available on the video metadata, this was allegedly captured on the 29th of April 2022, so basically 3 years ago. The quality of the video was poor and it's also very short. While some are convinced this is the real deal with the grey alien, others find it laughable and state it's a poorly edited video. What do you think? In most places, seeing a baby left outside in freezing weather would stop people in their tracks. You'd probably think something was wrong. But in parts of Scandinavia like Iceland, Norway, and Finland, this is just part of everyday life. It's not unusual to walk past a coffee shop and see a row of baby strollers parked right outside. Inside, the parents are sitting back, sipping coffee, chatting with friends, all while their babies nap peacefully out in the cold. Sounds crazy, but not to them. Scandinavian parents have done this for generations.
About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only.
Surprisingly,
shout out to King Saul's boss in the building. About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes.
What are you talking about? Really being held captive. Okay? It is a hostage.